Over the last several episodes, we've talked about visibility. We've also talked about lead generation, and we've talked about conversions, we've talked about funnels, we've talked about retentions, we've talked about scaling, and of course, we've talked about marketing systems. And overall, we have talked about our proprietary C.S.K.I.N system, the C.S.K.I.N system. We've talked about it. But today, I want to talk about something that's rarely discussed. And it is the fact that not every founder gets the same results from the same system. That's true in business, that's true in fitness, that's true in investing, and it is certainly true in marketing. Because while systems matter, and we're discussing systems so many times, the person implementing the system matters too. And one of the biggest mistakes that founders make is assuming that success comes just from finding the right strategy. But in reality, success often comes from becoming the kind of founder who can successfully execute the strategy. And that is what today's episode is about. The question is this C.S.K.I.N system that we designed, who is this C.S.K.I.N system designed for? And who it isn't designed for? And I'm going to begin my point in today's episode by answering the question why some founders will eventually get results when they work with us with this C.S.K.I.N system, and why other founders may not get results from this C.S.K.I.N system. You see, one of the most dangerous beliefs in business is the belief that maybe another strategy will save you. And because of that, many founders constantly keep searching for a better funnel, a better ad, a better content strategy, a better platform, a better mentor, or maybe a better course upon course upon course, a better shortcut. And yet, their results never changed. Now, not because the strategies are bad, that's not why their result never changed. Their result never changed because they never stay with one strategy long enough to make it work. And this applies virtually in every area of life. I can remember in the Bible, Apostle Paul went to several places to preach, but he stayed long in Corinth and he stayed long in Ephesus. In Ephesus, he stayed so long that the Bible says all of Asia heard the word of God. In Corinth, he stays around 18 months, and many of them, so many multitudes, turned to the Lord Jesus. It's the same thing in every area of life. Staying in business for a long period of time, you will learn everything you need to learn to make that business successful. And deploying a strategy, a marketing strategy, long enough, if you do that long enough, you're going to get that strategy to work for your business. But what we realize is that you can see two founders learn the exact same framework. One implements consistently, while the other doesn't implement. Because of that, one gets results, the other keep complaining that the framework doesn't work. The difference is not the framework itself, the difference is execution. The C.S.K.I.N system is powerful, especially for skincare founders, but it's powerful in every industry. You can even deploy it in whatever industry you are in, but it still requires a founder willing to execute. This brings me to the second point, all right, which is what you must be ready to absorb and understand, that this C.S.K.I.N system, which I deploy for my clients, is for founders that are building a business. It's not for chasing a lucky month. We've been having several bad months. Let's hire these Prime Market Institute guys, let them help us deploy their marketing strategy for this month, and let's see a lucky month. No, you are not qualifying. It is for founders that are ready to build a long-lasting, scaling business. You see, one of the reasons many businesses struggle is because they confuse activity with growth. They want one viral post that will launch them to the moon. They want one influencer shout out that will make them suddenly scale for the rest 1 year. They want one lucky ad that will convert so massively they have no trouble again. They want one breakthrough month, one campaign that suddenly changes everything. But in reality, that is not how sustainable businesses are built. The C.S.K.I.N system wasn't created just to help you get lucky. No, instead, it was created to help you become predictable visibility, predictable lead generation, predictable sales opportunities, and predictable growth. Because businesses become valuable when in reality they become predictable. As you know, anyone can have a good month. The real question is, can you generate demand the following month and the month after and the month after that? That is what systems do for you. And that is what this C.S.K.I.N system will do for your skincare brand if you deploy what we have taught, or if you allow us help you deploy it in your business. Now to the third point, and this is very important because the C.S.K.I.N system won't work if you are waiting for motivation. And this is one of the biggest misconceptions among many founders. All right, many people believe that motivation is what creates action, but in reality, it is the action that will eventually create motivation to continue. So just think about the most successful founders that you know. Do you think they wake up every day and they are feeling inspired to actually do what they want to do? Of course not. Such that even if they don't feel inspired, they execute anyway. They create content anyway. They follow up anyway. They just make sure they are creating the actions. They improve their systems. They test new ideas. They keep moving anyway. Because discipline will outperform motivation, especially if you already have daily agenda. This day we are covering this thing. Every day we are covering these 6 steps. They must be covered whether you feel gingered, whether you feel inspired or not. This is what is called discipline. And the founders who get the best results from our framework are really the most talented. Instead, they are usually the most consistent at being disciplined. Hi, let me briefly say this. So if you are watching this and you already know that your skincare brand or any other brand that you are running right now should be doing more, but you are not sure about how to structure everything properly, well, that's exactly why we created the Digital Launchpad Accelerator. It is where we help brand owners like you turn attention into actual sales. It's where we help you build your clear growth system and scale more predictably. To get started and actually work with us, all you have to do is to go to pmi.ng/DLA or click the link in the description of this video and watch the video on that page to learn about how to work with us. Do that after you finished this episode. All right, go ahead and continue the episode. And which brings me to a very strategic point, and which is that there are type of founders that won't get results, which are the founders we cannot help. So what are the 5 types of founders we can't help? Honestly, the C.S.K.I.N system is not for everyone. It won't work for everyone, even if we want to make it work for everyone. Because there are founders who will struggle with it. There are business owners who will struggle with our system, with our framework. The first of the founder is, for instance, the shortcut seeker. People who just want shortcuts. They want extraordinary results, but with ordinary efforts. They are the one constantly looking for hacks, constantly looking for the shortcuts without actually wanting to deploy a working strategy over a long period of time. Now, the second type of business owner that we will not be able to work with to get results are the perpetual learner. These are the business owners, the founders that consume endless information but never implement. And because of that, they often think that they know more than most people, yet they achieve less than most people. In fact, they are the ones that won't allow the agency owner to actually execute if eventually they got to hire agencies to help them deploy their framework, because they think they know more than the freelancer or the agency they hired. But that friction, if not dealt with very well, will lead to results that is not favorable. Now, the third is the founder who refuses to be visible. Yes, they want customers, but they don't want to create content. They want authority, but they don't want to show up. And of course, that is a contradiction. Marketing doesn't work that way. And we also have the fourth founder who quits too early. They start something and they stop. Before the thing gets to work, they stop. They start again. Maybe they see somebody else get results in that same thing that they are stopped. So they start again. After some period of time, they stop again. Consistency becomes impossible to them. And because of that, they are not going to get results, even if they know everything about the framework as we teach it. And the fifth is the founder who refuses to invest in growth. And of course, investment doesn't only mean money. Investment means time. Investment means attention. Investment means energy. Investment means commitment. The truth is simple. The C.S.K.I.N system cannot help someone who refuses to participate in their own growth. So let's say it's a coaching for the C.S.K.I.N system. If you don't show up for the coaching, if you don't implement what you are being taught, you're not going to get results. Let's say it's a done for you system. If you don't work with the agency you hire or with the freelancer you hire, especially if you hire us and you don't work with us to ensure you get results, nothing will get done. All right, you have to show up and be willing to participate to get results. You have to release whatever assets we actually need. You have to just show up and ensure that our working relationship is beneficial, especially to your business. So if you are not one of these 5 types of founders, maybe you are the founder that we actually want to work with. So let me describe the founders who get the best results from the C.S.K.I.N system. They have some 5 peculiar traits that I'm going to let you in on. First, they take visibility seriously. Of course, you know that the C.S.K.I.N system, the first is community, the last one, N, is non-stop creatives. You cannot have visibility unless you keep creating creatives for your organic content, especially, and then for your art. You cannot have visibility if you're not willing to build community around your brand. If you're not willing to build your own market, if you're not willing to create your own sub-market that will be loyal to your brand. So these founders are those who actually take visibility seriously. They understand that great products won't sell themselves even though they are great. Build it and then they will come. Only works when others are really tested and seen your product and word of mouth is actually working in your favor. But how will you get those first people to actually test the product and say that it works? Just because your product is great does not mean it would naturally just sell itself. All right. So these founders, they love visibility. Number 2, they also understand that growth actually takes time. They don't expect miracles in 7 days. Yeah, in 7 days, produce these millions of naira. No. They understand that deploying this strategy will take time. So they focus on building momentum. The number 3 traits, qualities we see in these founders that we like to work with is that they are willing to test and improve. In other words, they don't treat marketing like a fixed science. No, they treat it like an ongoing process, things that may evolve, and they need to optimize their campaign. They need to do more and test more and see better results. That is a trait that is very valuable, especially if you are working with an agency who is beginning to learn about your market and about how your customers, how your audience respond to your different messaging angles and positioning. And the 4th trait is that they actually build assets instead of chasing acts. So they build communities, which is a very integral part of the C.S.K.I.N system, the C.S.K.I.N framework. They build email lists, they build funnels, they build content libraries, they build brand authority. This is a very great trait of founders that are serious, founders that are actually qualified, founders we actually want to work with. Because it is these assets that continue to produce results long after any individual campaign ends. And the 5th trait for these founders we like to work with is that they execute consistently, not necessarily perfectly, but consistently. And of course, consistency compounds. So if you are working with us to coach you, a done with you service or a done for you service, they just want to get this thing rolling. They want to get the execution rolling, not just the theory, not just the knowledge. They actually want the implementation of this C.S.K.I.N framework within every part of their business. Alright, now if everything I've shared in this video is making sense to you, and right now you are realizing what is missing in your brand, then the next step is very simple. Number 1, you can try to figure all of this out on your own and implement every lessons you've learned in this episode. Or number 2, you can have us help you implement it properly. And that's what the Digital Launchpad Accelerator is for. Here's where we work with a limited number of brands to actually fix what is not converting in their marketing system, to help them build a proper growth system and to help them scale revenue within just 90 days. So if you are interested, there is a link below this video in the description, or on this video there is a link where you can watch the full training and apply to work with us. Just go to pmi.ng/DLA. All right, now let's wrap this up and finish the episode. Now, before you ask whether this C.S.K.I.N system works, I know that could be a question in your mind if you're a founder, because that's one of the most common questions business owners ask. All right, does this strategy work? Does this funnel work? Does this content strategy work? Will this framework actually work for my business? Yeah, it has worked for other businesses. Will it work for my business? Well, those are not bad questions to ask, but there is a better question. The better question is, will I do, or will my business implement what success requires? Because most strategies don't fail because they are ineffective. In reality, they fail because people abandon those strategies too early. Most businesses don't fail because they lack information. They fail because they lacked implementation. So before you ask whether this C.S.K.I.N system would work for your business, all right, as it has worked for other clients that we've had, ask yourself, am I willing to execute? Am I willing to implement? Am I willing to allow this brand marketing institute to actually execute this system for my business without too much interference? Am I willing to do that? Ask yourself that question. Once you ask yourself the question, maybe you are part of those this C.S.K.I.N system is really for if you answer correctly. So the question is, who is the framework actually designed for? We designed this C.S.K.I.N system. I've explained C.S.K.I.N system in past episodes, so excuse me if I'm not explaining it again in this episode. We designed this C.S.K.I.N community, segmentation, killer offers, intent funnels, non-stop creatives. We design it for founders who have something real to offer the market. Founders who understand that visibility matters. We design this for founders who actually want predictable growth. We design the C.S.K.I.N system for founders who are willing to build the system around their business, not just let me find a ad guy that will just run ad for me. No, you are willing to build this C.S.K.I.N system around every part of your business. And if you're a founder who is also willing to execute consistently, not that you hire a freelancer to work with your business for 2 months, after which you continue your organic marketing, you're not running campaigns again, you're not feeding the machine, the engine, all right, traffic that will be nurtured and convert to customers. You're not doing that again because you already have customers for now. All right, no. These are the people that we want to work with. We want to work with those who will execute consistently, keep generating leads, keep nurturing them, keep turning them to customers, keep generating leads, nurturing them, turning them to customers. These are the founders we want to work with. Founders who understand that success is not a one-time event. It's not a one-month thing. Success is a process, a long-time process. If that describes you, then this C.S.K.I.N system was built for you. It was built for your brand. It was built for your business. Not because it's magic, not because it's easy, but because it provides a framework for creating predictable growth for your business. At the end of the day, the question isn't whether this C.S.K.I.N system actually works, because it works. We've implemented it in our client's business and it has been working. All right, so the question is whether you are willing to become the kind of founder who can make the C.S.K.I.N system work for your brand. Because frameworks don't build business all by itself. It is founders that do, it is business owners that do. The framework simply provides the path. It simply provides the guided direction through which your business will grow. And the founders who follow the path consistently are usually the ones to achieve the results everyone else is chasing after. So if you're a business owner, you are a founder, and you're ready to build visibility, you are ready to generate leads, you are ready to create demand and scale your business predictably, I congratulate you, because then you are exactly who this C.S.K.I.N system was designed for. And in the next episode, we are going to talk about the decision every founder eventually faces, which is, do I continue doing what I've always done, or do I commit fully to growth? But for now, if you really believe that this C.S.K.I.N system is for your brand and it will help your business scale, if you really believe that we can help you implement this C.S.K.I.N system to scale your skincare brand, to scale your brand in any other industry, all you have to do is to click the link below this video or in the description. If you're on YouTube, click the link, go to the landing page, book a session with us, a 30-minute session with us. Let us see how we can help your business actually scale. See you in next week's episode.